High school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime. I'm Drew Collins.
And I'm Scott Leber. We're glad you could join us after that college football game. That's going to be the thing now on Friday night on Fox. College football followed immediately by overtime. Next week, by the way, we've got the Illini and Nebraska game on, so you're going to want to tune in for that one. But right now, we are locked in on high school football.
Got highlights coming your way from Lena Winslow, Winnebago, Rockford, Lutheran, Dakota, and throughout the NIC-10. And we'll spotlight Freeport head coach Anthony Dedmond and why show the unique classes he's teaching at Freeport High School. We begin in the NIC-10 with two teams that got off to a good starts in their opening 2 weeks of the season, Harlem and Hononegah.
Both teams won their opening games. Hononegah came in with a 13-game NIC-10 winning streak stretching back over the last couple seasons. It is the Gillies Heating and Air Conditioning Game of the Week. And if you're wondering about the crowd at Harlem following last week, well, yeah, it was pretty much a packed house for this one. Let's check out Jamani Muhammad. Early on, pretty nice run for the Harlem senior. Good gain there, but much of the first half he was bottled up, trying to get outside on the far edge, coming back our side, nowhere to run, down near his own goal line. Hononegah taking over on offense now. It is tough to bring down their big back, Curtis Smith. You can't bring him down on the initial contact because he keeps going. Dominic Kelly here, the QB keeper. That works for a touchdown run. It was 21-0 Hononegah in the second quarter. Now we have seen Smith and Kelly, and how about some Brock Anderson, 6 feet, 205 pounds. That's a 44-yard TD. It was 24-0. Harlem doing a little play action here. Nate Johnson to a wide open Jamani Muhammad, and Muhammad's gonna be gone. That was huge late in the second quarter. There's Muhammad. Here's some more of them on the 2-point conversion. They're going to swing it out to him. And look at the one-handed grab there by Jamani, but he was stopped just shy of the goal line. But I want to see that snag again. Look at this. One hand, wow. The way Tim Bailey used to do it back in his day. Jamani Muhammad, great play there. Right before the half, this was huge. Kelly's pass picked off. That is Jackson Cook, the sophomore, and he's going to go all the way. 100 yards on the return. I got to imagine that's a school record. Final score, though, in this one, Hononegah 38, Harlem 14. All right, our NIC-10 analyst, Tim Bailey, joins us to break this one down. Tim, just give us your impressions of Hononegah's offense. 38 points tonight. Yeah.
Stellar on offense. I mean, their running game is the heartbeat of that offense. They do some things well. You know, the backs that they have over there at Hononegah did a phenomenal job. They don't turn the ball over, and I really like what they did up front. They moved the ball. They were moving bodies forward so the backs can get through and just spring themselves. I like what their backs do in Smith and the other young man in Anderson. They get to the next level. They're able to get to the second level, and tonight you even saw Smith actually get to the third level. So what they do offensively at Hononegah is nothing short of phenomenal.
It's great how those two young men run through contact, boy.
They definitely have a different look this year with Dominic Kelly at quarterback. He gives them a lot of run-pass options, so kind of take us through that.
Yeah, he does really good job, a sound job of running that RPO. I mean, he is the actual point guard of that Hononegah offense. He doesn't really turn the ball over. He did throw a pick late tonight that you'll probably see here in the clips coming up, but you know, again, that was probably the only mistake that he made. He just needed to get a little bit more air on that ball. He had the receiver open, but just came up short throwing the INT. But I like what he does. He gives them another addition at running back. He runs that RPO well. He actually ran up the gut tonight a couple times. You see here in the video here. He does well with his feet. So I really like to see what Hononegah is going to continue to do as they move forward.
Jamani Muhammad gave it his all tonight, and he did bust out on that long pass play in the second quarter. So your thoughts on the way Hononegah's defense kind of dealt with Jamani tonight?
Well, I think what Hononegah came up with schematically of just really, you can't stop with Jamani Muhammad, but you can slow him down. And I think that's what they did tonight on offense. Everything that you saw Jamani do tonight, he was going east and west a lot, and again, you got to take your hat off to Hononegah's great defense. They had all 11 yellow hats running to that ball. So anything Jamani tried to do after he got forced to cut back across the grain, he couldn't do anything because, all 11 hats were there.
We have to mention Jackson Cook, Harlem's defensive back, who returned a 100-yard interception before half. He looks great.
He's going to be special. Let me say something about that young man. He's only a sophomore.
Wow.
Okay. He's going to be back. We're going to be seeing this for the next 2 years. He's long. If you see that play there, he goes up and gets the ball. Look how long his arms are. He's got a great wingspan. He's got great height. He's got a great stature. You know, we're going to be talking about this young man for the next 2 years. He came up big tonight for Harlem.
And great bloodlines, too, because his dad's Billy Cook, who was an absolute standout at Auburn back in the day.
And Graham Ellie stayed with me.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. I forgot about that. All right, so keep your eye on number 11 there for in the games to come. We're going to have more Nick 10 action and more with Tim just a bit later.
But next, we have Big Northern and NUIC action, including the Stillman Valley Cardinals taking on the Lutheran Crusaders. You're watching Overtime. Byron and Dixon have gotten off to impressive starts in the Big Northern Conference. Genoa Kingston has also been strong.
Rockford Lutheran and Stillman Valley are trying to stay within striking distance of those teams. The Crusaders and Cardinals split their opening 2 games. Tonight, they went at it at Lutheran. The Crusaders were trying to rebound from their loss to Byron last week. Stillman's opening drive, and the Cards, as usual, go with the ground game. And here it's Henry Hildreth coming up with a big run. Number 19, Mason Villafuerte, took him out at about the 25-yard line. Cards then, hey, every now and then they do surprise you and chuck the football. This is Ryan Roof deep to Jackson Musio at the goal line. It was ruled a touchdown. So the Cards had the early lead. Lutheran offense, David Ballard here on the run. Number 7, Brady Hinkle, first there for the tackle for the Cardinals. Gavin Sanders, you want him to get the ball if you're a Crusaders fan. Gavin uses that quickness to get to the edge, down the sideline for the first down. Then Daniel Ballard on the rollout throws to his brother David. That's a Crusader touchdown. So let's take another look at the guy who threw the ball. Right there he is, the quarterback Daniel. And folks, there is another Ballard on the way, Dylan. He's only 9 years old, so we'll look for him in a Crusader uniform in a few years. Lutheran won this game comfortably, 36-14.
At Winnebago, the Indians took the field against North Boone. First quarter on 4th down, North Boone's Braden Slaughter going to pass, and he connects with Azriel Dixon to keep the drive alive. Later on, Slater to Dixon again, this time in the flat, finds his blockers, and he will go the distance, plowing ahead for the score. Bago blocked the XP. Indians turn to respond. Caden Langhoff pitches to Michael Cunningham, reverses to Ethan Langhoff, who fires it deep and finds Hunter Bell, who's going to scamper into the end zone for 6. Bago led 7-6. North Boone back the other way. Pass finds Brady Dahl for a nice gain in front of our cameras. Here he goes out of bounds right here. But Bago gets them the 4th down. Slater looking to pass, has his man dialed down again, but he's out of bounds, and the Indians hold on. In the end, North Boone would take it 20-16.
All right, also in the Big Northern Conference, Dixon topped Rock Falls 63-7. Oregon slid by Genoa Kingston in a real barn burner, 3-0 in that one. And in a big non-conference game at Williamsville, down by Springfield, boy, are the Tigers good. They just demolished a really good Williamsville team, 41-3. All right, in the NUIC, the Lena Winslow Panthers rolled through their first 2 opponents. Well, tonight the Panthers were trying to improve to 3-0 in Lena.
Rhiann Wow covered that game. She joins us now. Hi, Rhiann.
Hey guys, the Panthers outscored their first 2 opponents, Morrison and Fulton, 76-19. Tonight they hosted Stockton, and the Blackhawks split their first 2 games, so the stage was set for a pretty fun night. Lehman went into this game looking for its 19th straight conference win, but Stockton did not make it easy for them. Lena Winslow's Aiden Wild took the ball up the middle multiple times with barely a gain thanks to the Blackhawks defense. Stockton takes over on downs and gets themselves on the board here with a Noah Larson throw to Eli Larson, who takes it in to give the Blackhawks a first quarter lead. And you can just see how pumped they were for this one. I mean, look at him picking him off the ground. A 2-point conversion makes it 8-0 Stockton. Now a couple of downs lead to a Lee Win throw, and that's picked off by Noah Larson to give Stockton even more momentum in just the first quarter. We head to the second quarter now, where Lee Win's Alex Schlichtine gets the handoff here, and he just absolutely takes off to give the Panthers a first down and a good position to get some numbers on the board. But eventually it's Aiden Wild who will run it in for the Panthers, and with a 2-point conversion, they end up tying the game up. He's pumped for this one as well. Now both teams would score again before half. In this next clip, here's Noah Larson throwing once again to Eli Larson for another Blackhawks touchdown, but a failed conversion will lead to a Lee Win lead of 16-14 before half. Lee Win does come out on top for this one, 30-14. Both Lee Win and Stockton had guys running both ends of the ball, making them both pretty dangerous. But Lee Win moves to 3-0 in conference and gets that 19th straight win. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rihanna. Stockton pretty good this year. They gave Dupec all they could handle, too. Well, the Dupec Rivermen, speaking of them, were another NUIC team hoping to improve to 3-0 tonight.
They were in Dakota tonight. Dakota dropped its first 2 games. Rivermen possession will start it off. And of course, you know who's going to be back there. Cooper Hoffman bobbles the snap, looks right, reverses himself, and finds some running room by the sideline. He weaves his way to the end zone from 31 yards out. That is a nice play right there. Dupec is going to go for 2 here. Jackson Diedrich barrels his way in for the conversion. Picks up number 7 there. Cooper Hoffman and company fakes out our cameraman here, but then we see it. Justin Anderson taking this 25-yard run for the score. Next up, we'd have the 2-point conversion again. Dakota's defense is going to try to get the stop here, and they do. Stop them short. Great play there by 23. Rivermen one more time from 9 yards out. Hoffman lands it out to Lucas Russo. Russo breaking tackles and battles his way into the end zone. The final here, Dupec tops Dakota 46-0.
In other NUIC games, Galena passed Forest and edged them out 19-18. EPC topped Fulton 46-22. And Morrison in a non-conference game defeated Galesburg 31-14.
In 8-man football tonight, West Carroll wins 57-8 over AFC. South Beloit beats River Edge 54-14. Polo beats Hiawatha 54-0. Amboy dominates Galava for a 60-0 win.
In some other 11-man games around the area, Rochelle beats Highland 41-22, and Kalen won 42-0 over DeKalb. Sycamore beat Mahomet Seymour 21-13, and Woodstock North defeated Marengo 20-14. All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we fire up more Nick 10 action.
Could Belvedere North run its record to 3-0, or would the E-Rabs trip up the Blue Thunder?
It is clear through the first couple weeks that Belvedere and Freeport are vastly improved from a year ago.
They were both solid in their opening 2 games, but neither one had a win to show for it. That would have to change for one of them tonight. They went head-to-head in Belvedere. Got the nice halftime marching band here. The Pretzels defense will be in the nightmares of Belvedere's offensive players tonight. That's Lanarion Freeman and Michael Tillman. Michael Tillman there for the tackle. We then go on to this next play, Cameron Werner. They'll lean on him this game. He powers his way into the red zone. We saw power, so now let's see some speed. This is Denarius Epps, number 646. The Pretzels extend their lead. The 2-point conversion, and Cameron Werner walks in untouched. You have to shout out the big boys for Freeport tonight. They absolutely dominated. Freeport wins 38-14.
At Boylan, the 2-0 Titans hosted the Jefferson Jayhawks. Boylan looking to punt in the second quarter, and actually it's a fake as Donzel Ingram Love finding Noah McDermott there, and that kept the chains moving. 4th down again. They go for it. Dominic Cacciatore this time for Caden Gates. He has it on the screen following his blockers. That's a big pickup there. Later on, it's still Cacciatore at the quarterback. Going through the air for Alex Hernandez in the end zone. He's got company. He's got the football. Those were the first points of the game. Jefferson game to play, though, tonight. They got the ball for a 2-minute drill before the half. Sebastian Bracious out to left there for Dante Love, who gets it across midfield. Clock ticking. Bracious dropping back, running out of time, avoids the sack, makes a break for it. Doesn't quite make it, though, and he's taken out of bounds. After a TD wiped out due to a holding, Bracious with a final heave to the end zone, but it was broken up. Boylan led 7-0 at the half, and folks, Boylan won this a tight one, 20-17.
Belvedere North survived a double overtime game against Freeport last week. The Blue Thunder took on the East E-Rabs tonight. B North's quarterback Nicholas Tapia sets up play action and finds Nolan Benny wide open, and he carves his way to the end zone. B North now led 6-0 after a missed PAT. East takes over and runs play action of their own, but it's number 17, Anton Williams, snagging the interception. The Blue Thunder defense was looking scary on this Friday the 13th night. The Blue Thunder driving again. They fake the handoff for the speedy end-around give, and Ben Booker with the scary speed to jog his way into the end zone. North with the spooky win, 27-12.
All right, little Rockford rivalry going on at Wyatt Stadium. Guilford against Auburn. Second half kickoff. Holston Carter is going to return it for the Guilford Vikings. And folks, I always tell my camera people on Fridays when I send them out, do not get run over. That's the most important thing. Well, look out, because He's coming right at me, folks, and look out. Okay, what happened? Well, here's your clue. I'm here. I'm in one piece. I'm still doing this show. So either I knocked him out or I got out of the way. I got out of the way in the nick of time. But all right, Chris Porter here with a TD run. It was 40-0 Guilford at halftime. Guilford won this one 47-0. I still got quick feet, folks. I got out of the way in a nick of time. Tim, your reaction to my quick feet? No, actually, we want your reaction.
You got work to do. You got work to do.
All right, your reaction. I think the thing that jumped out of all those highlights was how tough Jefferson played Boylan tonight.
Yeah.
That was a 3-point game.
Yeah, you know, Jefferson's a much improved program than they were last year. You know, I think what's going on over at Boylan, I'm not for sure, but I'm surmising. I am going off based what I've seen over the last few weeks. The quarterback carousel over there. Scandroli, Cacciatore, then Williams comes in from Rockford Christian. He transfers in. He gets some playing time last week. So, you know, right now that offense to me is really out of sync. And it's going to be hard for Boylan to really get on track if they continue this quarterback carousel because, again, you need right now Boylan needs to be in a rhythm. I don't think they found their rhythm yet offensively.
Tim, next week, a couple big games, Guilford at Hononegah and Boylan at Belvedere North. Real quick, some thoughts on those big games.
You know, I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, you know, those two teams always play each other tough. They always prepare for each other very well. I think it's going to be a battle. But again, you know, going back to what I just said a second ago about Boylan's offense, they have to be able to correct that now before they get into actually game week prep for Belvedere North next week.
Let's take a quick look at our over-under question this week regarding that big game next week. Boylan playing at Belvedere North. How many total points will be scored by these two teams? This will give us a feel for if we think it's going to be a defensive battle or an offensive one. The bar's set at 38, Tim. Are you going over that or under that?
I'm going to go under that because both of these teams have really good defenses, even though, you know, Jefferson put up some really good points tonight against that Boylan's defense. But I think this is going to be a defensive game. I don't think we're going to see 38 points. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and I don't think we'll see more than 28 points.
Drew?
Also under, quarterback question marks and a lot of running the ball on B North, so I'll take the under.
I'm going under too. I think this is going to be a defensive game. All right,
so.
Folks, if you want more from Tim on Nick 10 Football, check out the Bailey Pod. You can find it on YouTube. His guest this week is Harlem's Jamani Muhammad.
Tim, thanks for joining us. We'll do it again next week.
Appreciate it.
Up next, it's our Spotlight feature story. Anthony Dedmond is Freeport's football coach, but he also teaches some very interesting classes at Freeport on law enforcement. Our local high school football coaches are naturally passionate about football. They're also passionate, though, about young people. That's why they do what they do. Freeport Pretzels coach Anthony Dedmond is overflowing with passion for young people, and we sample some of that now in our Overtime Spotlight story brought to you by Benchmark Exteriors. Anthony Dedmond has been a fixture on Freeport's sidelines for 6+ years as the Pretzels head coach.
Capital crimes, or what are capital crimes?
He also has been a fixture in the classroom at Freeport High School.
What I'm going to try to do is, this first semester, just try to open your eyes a little bit to jobs and history within the criminal justice system.
He teaches law enforcement classes to students.
My background is I was a correctional officer for the Stevens County Jail. I worked with some outstanding people, some people I could really call my friends, and you know, they kind of helped put me on this pathway to where I'm at right now.
Dedmond spent 7 years doing that. That job led to this one.
I love it. I'm here every morning between 5 and 5:30. School starts at 7:30.
Dedmond has always been a part of Freeport High School. He graduated from here in the class of 1992. He was a standout wrestler and football player. Now he excels as a coach and as a teacher with these law enforcement classes.
Somebody name number 3, please.
Are there a lot of kids in this school district who are interested in law enforcement?
You know, I believe, I don't know if they're interested as much in the law enforcement or as the jokes I'm cracking, because you know, they do keep their interest, they do their job, no complaints. I have some great kids. Answer this question today. Do you think a criminal justice system is necessary in civilized society? Why or why not?
Every topic revolving around police and law enforcement comes up in these classes. Some can be very sensitive topics for many of these teenagers. I asked Dedmond if his students are accepting of the police and the job they do, or if they're leery of the police.
It depends on the situation. I mean, everyone is different. Everyone's had a different interaction. Everyone's family may have a different interaction. My point is not to try to get them to go to one side or another, but at the end of the day, understand the resource that you have and take full advantage of it. Also understand that we need those quality people involved to make sure that things are being done correctly.
Freeport has its share of serious crimes.
Not too long ago, one of my former athletes was a victim of gun violence. We just need more people to step up and be that positive or be that help needed for, that's the only way things are going to get better.
Dedmond cares about every student in his classroom, every football player that he coaches, every student who walks or has walked the halls of Freeport High School. Just describe why young people are so important to you.
You know, it's you want to make sure that everyone feels special, that everyone feels a part of something. You never know what God really holds for you until he places you there. And I just feel that he's placed me where I'm supposed to be at.
It is amazing the rapport that Dedmond has with his students. I mean, they just gravitate to him, and they always greet him at the start of class with a fist bump or a hug because he's just a true asset to the Freeport School District.
He's one of those guys who's always been upbeat and full of energy. We'll be back after one final timeout. Each week at this time, we recognize a top play caught on our camera.
It's our play of the night, brought to you by Napleton Auto Group. Harlem's Jackson Cook, we showed you earlier. There it goes, a 100-yard pick six. That is our play of the week. Catch us again next week for Overtime. Fox Network will have another college game on, Illinois at Nebraska at 7 o'clock. We will be on immediately after that ends. So go to your high school game, go home, flip on the exciting end of that game, and stick around for Overtime. That'll do it for us. Have a great night, everybody.